Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be comparing the two budget phones that Apple has released fairly recently, the iPhone SE 2020 edition and the iPhone XR, which was released a few months ago but is still sort of being promoted by Apple as a budget phone. Now this video will be a comparison from the perspective of a consumer that is on a budget, so it won't really focus on very specific tech specs. And so with that, let's go ahead and jump into the comparison. So our first major difference that you're going to see right off the bat is the price, with the iPhone SE starting at $399 United States dollars, with the iPhone XR starting at $499, which is $100 more. For most people, this is not such a big deal, but for some people, it is sort of nice to save that extra $100, especially for people wondering if that extra $100 for the XR will actually be worth it. Now, for a lot of people, security is definitely a big factor in that. So, with the iPhone SE, we get a Touch ID sensor on the home button, but with the iPhone XR, we get face recognition, which there is no denying how convenient and simple face recognition is, where you just simply look at your iPhone, whereas with Touch ID, you do have to put your finger on the scanner each time. So another major difference that we can notice just by looking at the two devices side by side is that with the SE we get very large bezels, and the design is a little bit outdated, looking almost exactly like the iPhone 7 and iPhone 8. However, the XR definitely has a more modern look with a larger screen. This will definitely mean a better video watching experience, whether that be streaming YouTube or just watching downloaded video. But both phones you'll definitely have no problem doing everyday tasks like messaging and emailing and social media, no problems at all. Now taking a look at the other side, the cameras are here on the back and they both have a 12 megapixel camera. It should be sufficient for everyday picture taking. It's definitely not the pro experience that we'll get on Apple's Pro devices like the 12 Pro and Pro Max, but those are targeted more at professional users. Now the chips in these phones are a major difference. The iPhone SE has an A13 chip, while the XR only has an A12 chip. This definitely sets back the XR since it will not be as fast as the SE when it comes to performance and multitasking. Now these two devices do differ very strongly when it comes to the home button, which the SE has and the XR does not. It's definitely a very nice thing to have for people who are attached to their iPhone 6, 7, or 8, but it's also perfectly fine for some people. And now when it comes to charging your device, there will be no difference at all. Both have a lightning port and both have wireless charging capabilities. One thing also worth mentioning is neither device has a headphone jack, which is the standard these days, so no differences in that area either. Now in terms of the operating system, both run iOS 14, enabling a lot of convenient things on both of these devices, like widgets for home screen and app clips, and more, which you've probably already heard about. In conclusion though, I would say the iPhone SE would be a good purchase if you're just looking for an affordable phone, but the XR would be a good purchase if you're looking for something sort of similar to, for example, the iPhone 11 for a little bit less money. Ultimately though, the iPhone SE wins my vote for the best iPhone since it is $100 less expensive and has a faster chip.